Oceans cover up 70% of the Earth's surface. We do not realize how important marine life is or how they impact the environment, the ocean serving as a home to 95% of the living creatures discovered as a vast mystery. We have better answers and maps of Mars or other planets than we have an idea about the ocean. According to the World Register of Marine Species, not even 10% of all the species have been discovered. There are now 240,470 accepted species with new findings every day. Technically it is just one water body, only divided by continents to mark their coastline. The main difference is the temperature and density of the water, which differs all around, making segregations. The most astounding segregation would be between the Pacific and the Atlantic Ocean, where the green and blue water touch but do not meet. Presenting mysteries about oceans. Hit the bell icon and smash the like button for further eye-opening updates. Watch the video till the end to learn more mind-blowing facts about the ocean. Like, humans might go extinct if it were not for the oceans. Poverty would be non-existent if we could scout the ocean. Number 26. Do the Pacific and Atlantic Ocean not merge? Coming to the two largest oceans, the Pacific and the Atlantic, they have different densities, current, and temperature. The Atlantic has more salt than the Pacific, hence there is a clear distinction in many areas. They meet at Cape of Horn, a very famous tourist attraction as it has colonies of penguins living there. It is truly a wonder but nothing less than an adventure, as the water there is very rough, and it is quite a difficult task to navigate through it. Number 25. Gold bars. There are around 20 million tons of gold throughout the oceans. Although all of it is reduced to pulp and distributed approximately only a few parts per trillion. Hence, it is not cost-effective to extract it. Although if we were to collect all of it and distribute it among each human, each of us would at least get 9 pounds of gold. Considering it to be pure gold and taking the average worth of gold metal $27,880 per pound, you can calculate how much money we would all get. Number 24. The biggest ocean waves are not the ones you can see from the shoreline. It is actually beneath the surface. Number 23. The ocean has more artifacts than all the world's museums combined. Number 22. There are about 3 million shipwrecks in the ocean, which are known. Number 21. Most of our planet is dark. Oceans have an average depth of 12,100 feet, and because light waves can only penetrate 330 feet of water, everything below that point is dark. Number 20. Most of Earth's volcanic activity happens in the ocean. The largest known concentration of active volcanoes is in the South Pacific. This area is no bigger than New York, but it contains a whopping 1,133 volcanoes. Moving on to some icy facts. Number 19. There is an ice sheet larger than the continent of the United States. Number 18. One iceberg in the ocean could serve as a source for drinking water for 5 years to 1 million people. Number 17. If all the ice melted, the sea level would rise 26 stories. If all of the glaciers and sheets of Arctic sea ice melted at the same time, the sea level would rise an estimated 262 feet, which is about the height of a 26-story building, just a bit shorter than the Statue of Liberty. Number 16. The loudest ever recorded ocean sound came from an ice quack. It is called the boop. It was picked up by sensors that were over 3,000 miles away. It was thought that the sound was produced by a sea animal, but after years of study, the NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, concluded that it was due to seismic activity that caused the breaking of frozen ground. Number 15. Sea ice is drinkable. You can't drink seawater, but you can drink sea ice. However, until ice ages, it is still undrinkable as it has brine trapped between the crystals. As the ice ages, the brine drains out, and the ice becomes fresh enough that, according to the NSIDC, it can be melted and consumed. Number 14. Tsunamis move at 500 miles per hour. Number 13. Internet connection within the ocean. With the growing need of being connected to others, and everything shifted to being digital, there are submarine cables buried deep within the oceans to make overseas communication easy. Number 12. The Pacific Ocean is wider than the Moon. The widest point of the Pacific stretches from Indonesia to California. It is more than 5 times the diameter of the Moon. Number 11. The planet's longest mountain range above water. The longest mountain range is 4,300 miles in the Andes. The mountain range underwater stretches, like a snake between continents. It is about 40,390 miles long. Number 10. The biggest waterfall in underground. The tallest waterfall on land is Angel Falls in Venezuela, which has a drop of over 3,200 feet. It is nothing compared to the underwater waterfall in Denmark Strait Cataract. It is between Iceland and Greenland. When the cold water from the east hits the warmer water from the west, it flows underneath the warm water, with a drop of 11,500 feet. According to the National Ocean Service, the flow rate of the waterfall is more than 123 million cubic feet per second, which is 50,000 times that of Niagara Falls. Number 9. More people have reached the Moon than the Mariana Trench, the deepest point in the Earth. Number 8. The pressure at the bottom would crush anyone like an ant. In the Mariana Trench, 35,802 feet below the surface, which includes the deepest point on the planet, the water pressure is 8 tons per square inch. If you made your way down there, it would feel like you were holding up nearly 50 jumbo jets. Number 7. Water at the bottom of the ocean is very hot. In the deepest parts, the water temperature may only be 2 to 4 Celsius, except for water coming out of hydrothermal vents in the seafloor. Number 6. The ocean is a magnet for heat. The greenhouse gases prevent heat from escaping our planet's atmosphere. All that energy, unfortunately, goes into the ocean. With the increase in greenhouse gases over the decade, the temperature of the ocean has also risen. Number 5. Coral produces its own sunscreen. Too much sunlight can damage the algae that live inside coral in shallow water. To protect the algae, which are the main source of sustenance for the corals fluoresce. This creates proteins that act as a sort of sunscreen for the algae. Number 4. Half of the United States exists below the ocean. Number 3. Oceans have lakes and rivers too. Number 2. The Mediterranean used to be dry. The Mediterranean used to be a dry basin until some 5 million years ago during the Zanclean flood, in which water from the Atlantic poured through the Strait of Gibraltar and filled the basin. Number 1. The ocean is our greatest source of oxygen. Focusing on trees and preventing deforestation is good and healthy for the environment. What we don't realize is we get 70% of the oxygen from the sea. The tiny marine plants such as phytoplankton, kelp, and algal plankton take up carbon dioxide and release oxygen. If anything goes wrong with the food chain in the sea, we humans would be the first to go extinct. Taking a simple example, if all the predators like sharks and whales go extinct, the amount of smaller fish who eat these marine plants would increase, resulting in less oxygen production. Signing off. See you in the next video. Till then, keep practicing the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. Keep protecting the environment and in the long run yourself.